and wanted the whole kingdom to be his religion. He considered that I'm right, everyone else is wrong. And I'm the king, I have the power. If they don't surrender to what I believe in, then they cannot live. So Chattogram, he said, I know. He became a minister of the king. He said, I know what you have to do. Just convert Ramanujacharya and the whole kingdom will become your religion. But if you don't, everyone will become Vaishnavas, because he's just too powerful. So it's a long story, and my airplane takes off quite soon. But ultimately, it was planned. There was a conspiracy that Quraysh would be that Ramanujacharya would be invited to a debate, and either he would surrender to the king's religion and cause all of his disciples to convert, or he would die. So soldiers came to invite Ramanujacharya to this debate. And when they were coming, Ramanuja was ready to go. He was detached. He had a very simple, beautiful, loving heart. But Quraysh understood the situation. And he, with tears in his eyes, he begged and pleaded, let me go on your behalf. Give me your sannyas robes, and you put on my grihastha robes, and you secretly escape from this kingdom, because they'll be hunting to kill you. And let me go and face the king. He will think that I'm you. Ramanuja didn't want to do this. But Quraysh, with such a pure heart, was begging to serve in this way. So Ramanuja, he relented. Can you imagine? He took off his sannyasi robes. Now these days, if you want to go to a foreign country, sannyasis put on pants and shirts and all that stuff. But Sri Vaishnavas, 1,000 years ago, sannyasis didn't do that. It was a very, very big thing. When you put on saffron, it's forever. Especially danda. But he put on the white robes of a householder and secretly left Srirangam. And Quraysh, along with one of Ramanuja's gurus, Mahapurna, they went to Kanchipuram and they won the debate. But the king was not, he was not concerned with justice. He was blinded by ego. When he saw that Quraysh and the guys of Ramanuja defeated all his biggest scholars, he became so angry. He said, sign this document or you die. And the document was that I am defeated, Shiva is greater than Vishnu. So Quraysh, he started signing the document, and the king was so happy until he read what he wrote. You see, in South India, there's different ways of weighing things. And one particular measure is a Shiva and one is a Drona. Yes? And a Drona is heavier than a Shiva. So Quraysh wrote, in all cases, Drona is always greater than, even Drona is greater than Shiva. No, he was just making a joke, but you laughed. But the king didn't laugh. he sent his military out. He couldn't kill Ramanuja because Ramanuja saved someone in his family from a ghostly spirit some years before. So they took Mahapurna and Quresh, these guards, they dragged them out to the forest and burned their eyes out with burning hot iron rods. Extremely painful. And Quresh, after getting his eyes brutally burned out, with great humility, folded palms, he bowed down to the guards. And from the core of his heart, he thanked them. They were shocked. Why is he thanking us? Because of you, you have given me the most intimate service to my Guru Maharaj. Because of you, you have allowed me to sacrifice my eyes in the service of my Guru. I can never repay you the debt I owe you. These most hard-hearted killers, their hearts softened. They realized this man is a saint. They apologized. Anyways, Mahapurna was very old, and having his eyes plucked out in this way was too much. He could not continue traveling. So meditating on his dear disciple Ramanuja, on his guru Yamunacharya, and meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gave up his life. Meanwhile, Sripad Ramanujacharya, in disguise, he had to flee the kingdom of the Chola king. And he came near the kingdom of Mysore. And there was another king there from another religion. And it's a long story. But his king, this king's daughter was mentally ill. There was some subtle energy, some subtle being that was destroying her mentality. And she was just absolutely crazy. And the king invited his own priest to come and try to save his daughter. But because of some technicality, they wouldn't come into his palace, because they thought they would get contaminated. So one of Ramanujacharya's disciples, Nambi, he was living in that area. And he told Sri Ramanujacharya, if you cure this daughter, then you can get the favor of the king. So come to the palace. I've already talked to the king. He's inviting you. Ramanujacharya said, I'm a sannyasi. I cannot go there. How can I go into the palace of a great, powerful, opulent king? Similar to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would not personally meet Maharaj Prataparudra. But the disciple told the Guru that it might be a transgression to the etiquette of a sannyasi, but it'll be good for preaching. It will be a higher principle to save this man, and if you save him, you can save so many others. So Ramanuja accepted, all right, for the higher principle of showing compassion to others, then I will go into the king's palace. So he went in, and Nambi washed Ramanujacharya's feet Actually, first Ramanuja, he went in, he was strictly business. He wasn't speaking any prajalpa with the king. He just said, he went into the palace, the king bowed down, and he said, bring your daughter. Ramanuja said, bring me your daughter. And the daughter came, and Nandi washed Ramanuja's feet, and then took that water and splashed it on the daughter's head. And suddenly the daughter, who was delirious, she became normal. And she looked at herself, and she was completely disheveled and not dressed properly. So immediately she ran out of the room, and she dressed very nicely, and then she came back in and surrendered her life to Ramanujacharya. And the king, and especially the queen, because mothers are mothers, they were very deeply moved by this. And they started asking questions, and Ramanujacharya was preaching to him. And ultimately, the king, whose name was Vittaladev, he took initiation. And Ramanuja gave him the name Vishnu Vardhana, which means one who expands the glory and the mercy of Lord Vishnu. And because the king became a devotee, the whole kingdom became devotees. So see, Ramanuja's exiled. He leaves everything. He loses everything. He's in disguise, being hunted down. And he has to escape from his home, goes to a foreign land. And in the end, because of that, he met another king, made that whole country into Vaishnavas. And one day, there was the deity of Tirunarayan revealed himself to Ramanujacharya, and the deity of Narasimhadev revealed himself to Ramanujacharya in the forest, Tiruvananthapuram. And Ramanuja sent a messenger, and that messenger went and found Quraysh. And came back and told Ramanuja that Quraysh has been blinded. And your guru, Mahapurna, he was blinded. And the pain was so excruciating that he has passed away from this world. When Ramanujacharya heard that Mahapurna, who sacrificed his life just to protect his disciple, Ramanuja, was dead. My disciple, he's blinded, just trying to serve and protect me. And one of my greatest, most beloved and revered gurus, not only did he blind and suffer, but he died just to try to serve and protect me. It was too much. And then he heard how the king, the Chola king, was persecuting Vaishnavas and planning to destroy temples. Ramanuja prayed to Lord Narasimhadev. Now Ramanuja was a very forgiving, compassionate person. But he prayed to Lord Narasimhadev that this king is like Hiranyakashipu. So do what you think is best. And Narasimhadev heard the prayer. And the king got this horrible disease on his neck where it was just causing him excruciating pain, and he died. Meanwhile, in the process, according to some it was 12 years, some say 14, but most scholars say Ramanujacharya was in exile in Nalkote area for 12 years. Now, sometimes we think when Krishna tests us, it should only be for a few minutes. But the Pandavas were in exile for 12 years. And he was in exile for 12 years. And then he got the news from his messenger, who in those days there was no emails. Now you can know what's happening anywhere by just going into these internets. But in those days, there was no satellite TV to find out what's happening in Sri Rangam or Kanchipuram. You had to send somebody to walk there, and his messenger had to walk there and search all over the country for Quraysh. And he found him and came back and said, Quraysh is so happy that he got to give his eyes for you. That's his message. He's so grateful. He's more happy than ever before. He said, what a small price. I've lost my life. I've lost my vision. But what a great honor. Because through my losing my vision and not being able to see the light of day, now the light of my Gurudev is illuminating the whole world and giving vision to the whole world. I'm so grateful that I could be a part of this. Ramanujacharya heard that the Chola king was dead. So, of course, he prayed for his soul to get delivered, and it did. Quraysh was offered Ramanujacharya later told Quraysh, ask for any benediction, ask for your eyes back. And he sang songs for the Lord in the temple all day long, and the Lord said, ask for anything and I'll give you. You want your eyes? I'll give you your eyes. He said, if you want to give me a benediction, give the Chola king elevation to Vaikuntha. The Lord said, well, I don't really want to do that. But it's your desire, so he's already there in Vaikuntha as we speak. So Ramanujacharya saw he was still blind. Go back and ask for... He wanted his eyes to come. So he went back and sang beautiful songs all day long. And the deity said, I'll give you any benediction. He said, any benediction? Anything. Even your eyes, if you want anything. He didn't say that, but it was understood. He said, Chatrugram, who was my disciple, who rejected me, betrayed me, and tried to kill me and my guru. He's dead. Give his soul eternal residence in Vaikuntha. Vishnu said, he's already there. And Ramanujacharya insisted, please ask, according to some story, he said to the deity that I lost 2 articles that belong to my guru. Please give them back to my guru. And the Lord gave him his eyes back. According to others, even when the Lord insisted to give him his eyes back, he said, I don't want to see this world. The only benediction I want, leave my eyes as they are. I don't want to see anything of this world. All I want to see is your beautiful form in the form of my guru. Give me the benediction that I'll constantly see you. He says, it is done. So Ramanuja went and he heard about this, and he told, in Quraysh, he asked Quraysh, what is the deity wearing today? And Quraysh, he had no eyes, but he explained every detail of every flower on his garland and his nature of his crown and his pose and the color of his clothes. And then Ramanuja said, "What am I wearing today?" And he explained every flower in his garland and how he was standing. And Ramanujacharya understood. That was his benediction. He was always seeing Krishna as Guru. He wasn't interested in anything else. Now, to end the story, Ramanujacharya was being begged by all his devotees, and even Ranganath, the deity of Sri Rangam, was appearing to Ramanuja in dreams saying, "Now come back to Sri Rangam, everyone's waiting for you. You've been away 12 years. But the people in Melkote were so attached to being with him for 12 years continuously, they didn't want him to leave either. This is about my airplane. Very good justification to get me to shut my mouth and end the class. So he went back to Sri Rangam. And when he went back to Sri Rangam, the Chola king's son met Ramanuja and became a devotee and made the whole kingdom Vaishnavas. So it may have seemed like a reversal. He was humiliated, he was exiled, his guru died, his disciple was blinded, he was in exile with nothing, but in the process where he went, he made that whole kingdom and that king devotees. And then he came back, and the Chola king's son, who became the king, he became a devotee. So blessings upon millions and millions of souls that never could have happened were a result of the most serious, most inconceivable, painful tribulation of being hunted, rejected, and exiled. And Srila Prabhupada, we often give the example. When Prabhupada was living in Vrindavan with Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami at Krishna's Rasa Leela place, 70 years old, his guru asked him to go to America to be an instrument of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda's compassion. Now Krishna's in control. Krishna is Lakshmanath, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Krishna could have just Krishna could do anything. He could just exhale and create billions of universes. Yes? It's Mahavishnu. If he could do that, he could have sent Prabhupada a first-class ticket on Air India to New York. Why the Jaladuta? Why not an ocean liner? Why a cargo ship? And why in the Arabian Sea Prabhupada had several heart attacks and horrible seasickness? And he had no money. And he came to New York and didn't know anybody or anything. And later on he was in the Bowery, the ghetto, struggling. Why is it Krishna arranged? Prabhupada was asking his godbrothers and other supporters in India, come and help. Send some funds, send some brahmacharis. You come yourself. Nothing, nobody, no help whatsoever. They sent a couple sets of karatals, mridanga, some sweets, but no help. Why? These were great souls. And then Prabhupada got a little tiny room in the Bowery, and he was typing. Somebody gave him a typewriter to write his books, and somebody broke in his room and stole his manuscripts, stole his typewriter, and stole everything he had, and he had nothing. Then he ended up living with one person who was favorable, and then that person decided he wanted to kill Prabhupada and kicked him out of his house. Prabhupada was nothing. Why did Krishna put him through that? And then Prabhupada had a stroke. Yudhisthira Maharaj tells us why. O king, no one can know the plan of Lord Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. It is all within the plan of the Lord. Why Prahlad was persecuted, why the Pandavas had to go through so much difficulty, why Ramanujacharya so much difficulty, why in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, when Lord Chaitanya asked the common people chant the holy names, the Qazi was beating them, plundering them, imprisoning them. Because the Lord wants to show the world through the devotee. As Prabhupada says, like the housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter, that if we just remain faithful, everything becomes supremely auspicious. And Srila Prabhupada is glorified millions of times more within the core of our hearts for all time to come because of the difficulties he underwent for us. What is real compassion? Krishna revealed it through Prabhupada by the difficulties he went through. And he persevered for us. So on this precious day of Bhishmashtami, after Bhishma shared his realizations with Yudhisthira Maharaj, he started glorifying Krishna. And he saw the sun enter into the northern hemisphere, Makara Sankranti time. And he realized this is an auspicious time. And stopped speaking. First he just praised Krishna, glorified Krishna. Then just gazed with his eyes on the beautiful form of the Lord and surrendered his heart. And Krishna, standing over him, released his soul to return back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.